We are live. Welcome to a very exciting edition of the Corporate Women in Leadership. I'm so happy once again to be hosting this fantastic platform. My name is Adeline Sedekamga, for those who know me. And for those who've been following up, you know why we are here. We are here to create a balance. We are here to see the differences in the different things that we do in a corporate environment, in a business environment, and in our life. So as usual, we're going to go straight to our videos and then we're going to come back with our speakers. So let's see what we have here. Let's go to our video and then So I'll go to the video. So you know all about us. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Corporate Women in Leadership started 5 years ago. And what we've been doing over the last 5 years is we've been trying to empower and lead women in different sectors. We've been trying to put, in the forefront, women achieving amazing things at work. We've also hosted physical events in different parts of Africa, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Senegal, and this year we're supposed to do a lot more, but thanks to COVID, we are here. But also thanks to COVID, we're doing these live webinars, which is very popular and has seen a lot of people joining us. We've reached over 10 million people already. We've had over 50 mentees who've registered to be part of our mentor-mentee program. And still we are here. So what is this all about? Let me show you a little bit about what we do while we wait for others to come. If you're just joining us, the topic for today is managing and leading people. And if you're also joining us, please can you share this video so that your family, your friends can tune in and be part of this amazing conversation that we're going to be having today. So let's see. This is year one now.
Il faut savoir mettre des limites. Dans les plaisanteries, dans le travail même, il faut avoir des barrières en fait, sécuriser son environnement, c'est tout ça, physique et émotionnel.
Tous ces diplômes, ils se promènent de partout et que vous devez faire la différence parmi toutes ces personnes, il faut que vous ayez une valeur ajoutée. C'est de cela qu'il s'agit.
Insisting that you must be a logistic officer, then you're missing your dream. You need to look at your CV. After this meeting, come to me, bring your CV, bring your mission statement to me, and let's talk about the branding.
Thank you and welcome back. Those two videos you've just watched were some of the feedback from our previous seminars. The last one was in Cote d'Ivoire and the one before that I think was in Cameroon. So today we are live, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn and we're streaming. Let me start by saying we have two powerful women with us today. I've known these women in different capacities, and the reason why I'm bringing them up is because I know the way they work. The skills that it takes. Our topic for today is managing and leading, and sometimes we get really confused with these two. These women are going to explore these different themes, and we're going to ask them different questions, hoping that by the time you stop, or by the time we stop this program today, you're going home with a lot more than you came on board with. And please do feel free to share, the comment section. If you see there is something that you would like to contribute, please do feel free to share. Do feel free to comment. Do feel free to recommend. So, my name is Adeline Sedekanga, and I'm going to be introducing our speakers. Let me start by putting that banner, which is, okay, I'm just going to pop that there. I think there's an internet issue, there's an internet connection. I'm in Cameroon, so we'll be having this, but I'm going to try and make sure we don't get, we don't get cut off before we actually end. Okay, so Agatha Achedo is a wellness entrepreneur, speaker, and educator who specializes in helping American families thrive by transforming the way they live and feed their children. As the founder of Yummy Spoonfuls, most of you out there know Yummy Spoonfuls. It has been in the market for as long as 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, and it is a household name in America. I am so particularly proud to say I have had the opportunity to have worked with her in the past. She's been a contributing editor of Hub Africa magazine, one of our editions, and I think her concept on, feed their kids the right way is truly fantastic. A line of fresh frozen organic food for kids. She is devoted to making healthy food convenient and accessible for busy parents like myself, like you. She's a certified integrative nutritionist and wellness coach, and further her mission by building a brand that amplifies her message of whole living for modern times. She's a voice of authority in her field. Agatha has appeared in notably media outlets such as Today Show, CNN, CBS, Forbes, Fortune, and People magazine. She's a regular contributor, of course, on the Washington Post, to the Washington Post. So we're going to be having this opportunity of listening to her today, and of course asking her questions. How did she get here? How did she do it? So before we bring her on board, I want to introduce our next speaker. Michaela is a pharmaceutical and healthcare industry expert. I've known Michaela and I've worked with her, over the last 3 years, and I can say she has a fantastic approach towards leadership and management. The reason why I asked her to join us today in this conversation is because I've worked with her, I've seen the ups and downs that we've had during our working session, and the way she has expertly managed these programs were extremely interesting. So, as a pharma project manager for the French Sub-Saharan African region, she focuses on impacting and empowering patients' lives, from building her brand and establishing the strategy, leading and monitoring themes in countries to drive sales and growth, to improving medicines access, leading health projects, partnerships with local health authorities, supporting healthcare professionals by providing healthcare solutions. She's a keen motivational speaker, a coach, and she enjoys providing leadership and career advice. If you have Michaela on your WhatsApp, you will see she has this career advice that she pops in every so often, and I find them truly inspiring. A woman empowerment advocate, Michaela constantly aims to empower and inspire women to fulfill their potential and life purpose. Nothing is greater for Michaela at the end of the day than having made a difference in people's life. I think with that said, ladies and gentlemen, or dear audience, we can say confidently that we have two very strong women on board with us today. The topic will focus on people management, leadership, responsibilities, and challenges faced while managing and leading others. So let's bring our first speaker. I'm going to pop Agatha on the stream. And I'm going to pop Michaela as well. Hi, Agatha.
Hi, Adeline.
Hi, Adeline.
Thank you so much for
How
having
are
me.
you?
I am well, thank you.
well, thank you.
So you're checking in from the US today. Where precisely?
I am in Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Okay. And how is the situation with COVID? I mean, we don't want to be hearing about COVID anymore, but I mean, it's okay to ask that question, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And
And
honestly, we have a problem than COVID. There is the hurricane.
hurricane.
So I was telling your assistant that I'm hopeful that the lights doesn't go out. There is a huge storm.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
But I
And
hope
we're
you're
hanging
in a
in there with
safe
COVID.
area. Are you in a safe area?
Yeah, I'm home. And of course, we're homeschooling. And so yeah, because of COVID, we are hanging in there. Yes.
Oh my. Okay, let me pop Michaela on the stream as well. And there we go. Hi, Michaela.
Hello again. Hello everyone.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you so much, Michaela. Thank you for coming on board the Corporate Women in Leadership platform. It's so important for us to bring industry experts who can share their knowledge, with the rest of the audience. So you're checking in from Cameroon, right?
Yes, I'm actually in Douala.
Okay.
I've been the 17th of March. It was so good.
So how is the
God.
situation with COVID?
What did you say, Adeline?
How is the situation with COVID
I mean,
in
the
Cameroon?
situation is, how will I say? I think when it came, people didn't really believe, if I talking of Cameroon, but then as he went through, we actually realized that it was something serious. People were actually dying from it and all of that. And the government tried to do some awareness and put more strict measure in place, which we followed through. And then for the last month or so, let's say we've gone on lockdown now. So it's pretty much as if it has finished. But I think we're more okay now because I think we know how to manage it. At the beginning, we didn't know how to manage. We didn't have a structure in place to take care of COVID patient effectively. But today is much better. We can manage that. So that's why I believe that for the economy, things have gone back to sort of normal. So the numbers are reducing comparing to 2-3 months ago. The numbers are reducing. People are trying to wear a mask. When I even talk to people that are coming from abroad, they feel a bit safer here because when you go to every supermarket, you have to wear the mask or you don't enter. I think the security guard have turned into doctors. They really impose that. And my friends coming from the US or from Europe, they say, oh, in Europe, actually, people go to the bar. When you enter a supermarket, they're not necessarily asking you for a mask. So they kind of felt safer here, which is somehow, whereas I think at the beginning, they would have felt safer in Europe where they were rather than here. So yeah, that's a bit about that. So I don't think it's like the US where, like in Atlanta where you are. Yes, bad.
I think we're having, can you hear me properly? Because I can hear you
Yes,
really clearly. Agatha, can you hear me? Yes, you're going to have this echo when all three mics are on, but don't worry. Now that we're getting right into business, I'm going to be muting the mic. So Agatha, let's start with you. I'm just going to pop you on a solo. And what I want you to tell us now, I mean, we love you to. I know I've done a great job reading your bio, and I know it's usually very difficult for one to talk about themselves. But I've been following you in the last 12 years, I can say, and I think you've done an amazing job. And I can say the only reason why you're here today is because you've been consistent, and it's because you've managed to make it this far because you've been leading the people that you work with really professionally, or I don't know how to say, you've been leading them really well, and that's why you're here today. So from your perspective, I would like you to tell us a little bit about, to describe your leadership style and managing and leading people. So if you can give us a little background about your style, and in between, if you can describe so that our audience can know a little bit about managing and leading people, then we can crack up. But before I do that, let me just acknowledge those who are joining us today. It's always important for us to acknowledge them. Hello, Ramses from Balengu, Valerie from Dakar, Karen from Bamenda, Valerie, okay, there's an echo, we'll fix that. On Agatha's side, we'll fix that. Goretti, has she got you on more than one device? It's an echo. Okay, I think we'll fix that. Hi from Douala, Manuela Fankam. Echo, we are here, Samira Manka, Yelana Che. Hello from Douala.
Hello, Samira.
Hello, Michaela. That's from Samira. Samira from Yaoundé. She couldn't miss this. I've not seen her online for a while, so she's got her favorite girl on the show. Hi, Cynthia Nkono. Thank you for joining. So, just a recap, this is the Corporate Women in Leadership, and we're talking about managing and leading people. We just want to start with you, Agatha. You're here now. Hi, Zelda. Thank you for joining. So let's see. Agatha, can you tell us, give us a little bit about, managing and leading people, and tell us your style, how do you manage, how do you lead? Let's hear from you.
Again, thank you so much for having me. I think for me, it's more about inspiring. So I do both, but hopefully I like to inspire more than manage. And what is important is that you have a vision that is clear enough for your team to follow, if that makes any sense. And when you bring together a group of people who believe in the mission that you have, like for me, for 25 years, it's been about changing the food system. It's the reason why I started my company about 15 years ago. And having people who believe in that vision and having it outlined in such a way that it's not just in your head, and then inspire them to come in each and every day to do their utmost best without you having to micromanage anyone, because you all have a collective dream to make this vision the best ever. I think that's leadership. And there are times that I have to manage, which I think we'll get to that. But for now, leadership is just being able to inspire people to do their very best to support your vision.
Thank you, Agatha. You're coming from 15 years. That's a lot to be in the industry. And as I earlier said, having led people from in the last 15 years is very important. And you've said something that I feel I just want to to hone a little bit. Getting people to buy in your vision, they get to do the things that you want them to do, and they help you to achieve your objective. So right now, Michaela is from a different background. She's she works with fast-paced pharmaceutical company, and she experienced this. I don't know if she has a different idea on leadership or management, but if I can pop Michaela on our screen to tell us what according to Michaela, what is it, management, to your perspective, management, leadership, how would you describe this? You will need to unmute yourself, Michaela. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So thank you, ladies. Indeed, for me, there's both. And I think at some points we have to do both. But I would say being a leader is the best. A leader is really someone that inspires. It's someone that inspires. There's someone that empowers. And a leader really shows the way, and he shows it with the vision, like you said earlier. And I think it's all about the vision and the perspective. Whereas managing, you just manage, you want to get results, and that's it. But like it was said earlier on, if your team embodies your vision, then I think they will end up doing the job without even realizing they're actually doing the job. And for me, as a pharmacist or someone working in the pharmaceutical industry, I believe the vision is very important. And that's what I always say. And to everyone around me, I want to wake up every day knowing that I'm going to impact someone's life. So it can be someone working with me, or regarding to my job, it will be patients. And at the end of the day, let's make that difference. And if we know that we're working in the pharmaceutical industry, which is health, we really want to change patients' life. We really want patients to not only look good, but we want them to feel good. And as long as we all understand that, even though our day-to-day job is attached to sales as well. But if we understand that, okay, we want to make sure that every patient gets the right medicine, gets the right advice, that every patient, even the one in the remote access area, have access to good healthcare system, then automatically we're going to make sure they get the drugs. We're going to do our jobs well for the doctors. So it all comes to that vision. So at the beginning of the year or every day, we have to embody that vision. The vision is to really make sure we are the best in class in what we're doing in terms of the medicine. So if I take the example of diabetes, the idea is to make sure that every diabetic patient, we have impacted their life and improved their life by providing our solutions, by providing training to the doctors, or by making sure they get the drugs that we provide as a solution to them. And if everyone embodies that, think about, it can be my aunt, it can be my dad, it can be myself. I want to have a better life. I want to be able to live without illnesses. If I envision and embody that, then automatically I'll do the job. So I think that's how I see when I lead team, or when I wake up every day knowing that I'm going to go and do my job.
So thank you, Michaela. So you both are coming from two different backgrounds, but one word that I picked was vision. You know, if you're able to hone that vision into the team, then they all get to make sure you provide quality services to the people that you have to, which is top leadership. So I can see that you've described both of these, you know, in different ways, but we've all come to the same conclusion. And when we come to experience, Agatha, what are some of the experience you've had in leading versus managing people? What are some of those times where you had to put management rather than putting your leadership?
I think, as Michaela said, both of them are necessary. But when you lead, you inspire more. You allow people to be their best. And when you have to manage, which there are times you honestly have to do, because there are some people that you cannot inspire. You would have to manage them because you have tasks. Because of course, that's what a manager does. Managers manage, they put structure, they put the authority so people can accomplish certain goals. But leadership is so important, especially when you have a leader that inspires you, because then you stop looking at it as a job. For me personally, with what I do, it's not just for work, it's every day trying to get families to live their best life, because so much of our health, as we all know today, depends on the choices that we make every day. So being that person that tries to inspire, I can say in my community, I'm a leader. In my business, I try to be both. But the difference would be in the community, trying to lead and inspire people to do the best is by living by example. So I don't have to manage anybody. I just show you that, oh, these are the choices that I try to make the most of so I can be healthy, so my kids can be healthy. And then people see that and then try to do it. So I inspire them to be better. At work, working with so many, and for this many years, even before I started my business, I was in corporate America managing a lot of people. I lead by example. So what I find that it's the most important, I can't even emphasize, because a lot of times we have an idea in our head that we are so passionate about, but you have a team, it might be 200 people that's working with you, but they don't know what that vision is, because the vision is fluid, it's changing. It's hard to function and inspire people in an environment like that. So at the beginning of the year, you come, bring your team, whether it's your entire team or the management team, the managers that are going to be doing the everyday management while you try to lead, and put it on the table. This is our goal. This is where we're trying to go. How we get there is not as important, like having everybody buy into that vision. And you realize that people come in the morning every day, even when they don't have to come, because they are inspired by what you're trying to do. I've had people who would come, even when we were starting, we had no money, just because they were inspired by the work I was doing. They donate their time so we can all accomplish this goal. But again, when you have an employee, that its workspace becomes a family. You have people who work fast, and you have people that you have to train, and you have people that you have to encourage. It's just part of work. So you have to find that balance, understand the different people that you work with. For those who need to be managed, you manage them. But it doesn't have to be one fits all, because then you have to allow room for the people who work on their own, who are meeting all the goals, to just keep growing, because you inspire them to do that, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense, Agatha. That makes sense. So what you've done is you've listed some of the leadership skills that we all need to have, because we're all in the position, even if it's at home that you're doing it, we're all in that position. So you've actually listed some of the leadership skills, and you've also explained that not everyone can be inspired. And it's something that I've never heard about. Well, maybe I have, but not as as simply as you put it. And this brings us to what Michaela was saying back there, that you have task-based, because they know this is my task. For example, how do you speak to someone who is, I don't want to say back end or front desk. I don't want to start listing. Anybody can be inspired from, no matter what they do, be it a driver, a project manager, it really, as you've clearly established it. So we've looked at, you've provided some solutions in your conversation. You provided solution already, like training and encouraged and try to understand these people. So the dynamics of what you've put out here now is a typical dynamic of an office space. Let's hear from Michaela to see if she has something different. Michaela, what we want you to tell us is, we want you to tell us about your experience in managing versus leading. When is that time when you have to manage, or that time when you have to lead? So let's hear from you.
So yes, I think we're in sync. I think we're in sync, and like we acknowledge, and like I said earlier, in the day-to-day, we actually have to do both. So let's say we talked about the vision. We have the vision, but we also have the goals. We have the immediate goals. We have the semester goals and all of that. And on the day-to-day, sometimes some tasks need to be done and results needs to happen. So in that moment, I'll put myself into managing, or what I call monitoring, because I would like those tasks to be done punctually. So you end up managing. But on the long term, I would like myself to be seen as a leader. And And how did it come? Is because I was inspired by some of my superior or manager that were actually leaders, and allowed myself to be responsible, to be accountable. Because for me, a leader is accountable. A leader push other to be responsible. A leader can delegate. A leader is really someone that push other to do more and to want more, like Adams Quincy said. And I think every day we need to be a leader. And then to do those tasks, those punctual tasks, you become a manager. A manager because you evaluate the teams and how they've worked. Have they met their mid-year evaluation? Have they met the end of the year evaluation? Have we met the target? So in that moment, I become a manager, because a manager is more task related. A manager is more immediate result related. So you sit up with the team, you do your regular meeting every Monday, your performance meeting at the end of the week or at the beginning of the week, then you're manager. You make sure sometimes you do have to check on them, then you're manager. So in those moments, I would say I become a regular manager. But overall, I would like them to see me as a leader, but knowing that at some point I have to step in to kind of follow or monitor those tasks and to check the results. So every end of the month, I'm actually a manager when it comes to evaluating the performance, the sales, the growth, and having the action plan of the following week or the following month. But all year round and all life round, I would like to see myself and to be seen as a leader, because nothing beats that, having that satisfaction that people actually aspire to be like you because you've inspired them or empowered them to give the best of their abilities. So that's what I would say if I think of managing, comparing to leading. Hello? Okay, I think the connection was
Sorry. Okay. So did I miss something?
I was talking, but I don't know if you were all here.
Yeah, I heard you up to like 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
All right. So thank you so much, Michaela.
Manage. I think it's beautiful when people look up to you. And for me, it happened because I had people that were leading me that actually allowed me to want more, that actually allowed me to say, okay, Michaela, okay, you're young, but you can do it. Okay, Michaela, you're young, but I see potential, and I'll allow you to go to the best of that potential. I'll give you more responsibilities. I'll make you more accountable. And the more I became like that, and I actually told myself, well, I'm doing the work without being forced to do it because I would like to do that. And I'm grateful for the people that have come across my way to make me become like that as well. And that's what I want to give back to others. Early on, we talked about training. I've been fortunate to always been put as a talent, to always been put for every training that was available, whether it's management training or leadership training, even early on in my career when I was still, let's say, junior. And I think they didn't see Michaela is young, she can't do it. They saw potential, and they said, okay, let me leave some of the work to Michaela. Let me empower her so that she knows that tomorrow this is what she wants to be. And today I can say that I became that because of them. And every day when I wake up, I want to do that for others. I want others to be inspired, because for me, it worked. Like we said, it cannot work for some other people. I'm not saying that I don't have people in the team where I would say they don't really care. All they care about is the salary at the end of the day and all of that. But if I take a balance, maybe 80%, they actually want to do it because they believe in that and they feel proud that they are being considerate, they're being considered by me, by the company. So it makes them want to do more naturally, actually, and in the day-to-day.
Thank you so much, Michaela. Now, a recap. I think, Michaela, you were very straightforward with the difference between a leadership and manager. So from what you just said, we all understand that a manager is task result driven. We also know that leaders are also task result driven, but you made us to clearly understand that the way that they go about to achieve that these ways are different, but at the end of the day, the focus is on the objective, the focus is on the, on the goal. And the way a leader will get someone to do something is different from the ways that a manager will. But at the end of the day, they all have the obligation, to make it work. Before we go on to the next beat, which is very much about the kind of person that is suitable to be a leader, let's see some of the comments that our audience are putting out there. I will start with Kate Mjier, hello from Douala. And Jessie says, Michaela. Pamela Oben, hello from Douala. And Beatrice says, hello, Michaela. Samira, yes, couldn't miss it. Hi, Agatha. This is Samira. I still remember my inspirational interview with you for Faba Free Magazine. I now have a toddler of my own, and your vision resonates in every day's meal. So you see, and Arnaud Lejoux, management is more, I think I'll pop this up the screen. Management is more transactional, whilst leadership is more transformational. Exactly. And Cynthia says, leadership is about empowering people to get on board with the vision you set and work towards it, while managing focuses on making sure daily activities are being performed, in my opinion. Totally right. You're totally correct. And Wari says, hello from Douala, I guess, from Cameroon. Hi, nice to have you on board. Now let's talk about the people. Agatha, do you think leaders are born, or do you think leaders are, do you prepare someone to be a leader, or is someone born to be a leader? I mean, this is a conversation that has gone on so many different platforms, but I want to hear from you. And I'm sure the audience will want to hear from you as well. What do you think? What's your opinion?
I think my opinion is leaders are trained. Leaders are trained. And a good leader is somebody who is ready and willing to train someone else, to empower someone else to even become better than they are. That's what being in leadership is all about. And you have tons of organizations out there training young, old, everyone in between to become good leaders. So leaders are trained, but there are some leaders who have that extra part of, I don't know if I would call it humility, like they are humble enough to be willing to learn. Because even as leaders, you're learning. As beings, we are constantly growing. So a good leader would be somebody who believes that they have room to grow as well. Yes, but you can train, and you have to. And if you are in leadership and you're not training people to become you and be better than you, then you're not a good leader.
Yeah.
Thank you, Agatha. So, Michaela.
Yes.
I mean, I would love you to add to what Agatha has said. That is, of course, if you do agree with her. Mm-hmm. But I'd also like you to tell us what of management, what of manager, because sometimes you see a lot of courses going on, training managers to manage well, training you to become a manager. So let's pick you back to, are leaders born or are they trained? And then if you can add, something on management, then that would be awesome.
Okay. So I do believe that no one is born a leader. I think you become a leader. You become a leader by training, or you become a leader by self-training yourself. So you can self-train yourself knowing that this is the life I want to live. This is how I want to live my life. I want to live a life of purpose. I would like to live a life of purpose. I want to inspire people, because to be able to inspire people, you need to have that as a purpose, because other people, I would say not everyone cares about inspiring or empower people. Some people are just happy, go to work, have their family, have their money, they are fulfilled, they're happy. But you need to want more to be able to make people want more as well. And that's why we say you lead by example. So as you set yourself to say, okay, I'm becoming a leader, I would like to become a leader, you bring up yourself to become that leader. Community as well, you can be a leader. And that's a choice that you make to be a leader in your community, because you wake up one day and you decided that I want to impact other people, I want to impact my community, or I want to impact my colleagues. So as per se, you actually become a leader by your action, by how you behave, by how you are. So I would say that you do become a leader. As regard for how do you prepare to be a manager, I think to become a manager, that's something that you can actually learn it in school. We have a master in management, we have degrees in management. You can learn it at your workplace as you grow along the path in your career. The top management or the executive committee will prepare you to become that manager, or you can self-train yourself as well to become that manager. And probably have you ever asked yourself, there's much more courses online about to be the best manager, but I haven't found a lot courses about being the best leader. Maybe recently as becoming, but in many companies you will say management training. And I've seen that a lot of companies now are doing leadership trainings, or I've seen more online leadership training, whereas before, anyway, I'm still, I would say, young, but from my little experience, what you will see more online will be manager, how to become a manager positions, but you wouldn't see leader positions. You will see leadership books, which I read a lot, and that's how I've trained myself to see, okay, I want to be that leader. Let me look up to other leaders. Let me read leadership books. Let me read a lot. Let me educate myself. Let me train myself. Let me listen to motivational talk. Let me listen to gurus. Let me read in the Bible as well. So how to see and become that leader. And manager, I think I've learned that in school. I've done a master in management. So I would say that I acquired those skills in school. I acquired at the office, or as I was taking up more roles, I was becoming a greater manager, I would say. So that's how I would say for myself. The management skill, I got them from school, for sure. I got them from school and at my workplace. But the leadership, it was more by being inspired by my bosses or my leaders, and by my self-training from the moment I decided that this is my purpose. I want to become a leader. I want to inspire. I want to empower. And I want to give back what was given to me.
That's a great way to end it. I want to give back what was given to me. Now, Agatha, tell me, is there something you want to add with regard to the management perspective?
Yes, I would, because the one thing that I have noticed when it comes to management is the perception of what people believe, especially when I go back home, whether it's in Nigeria or in Cameroon, and I see how managers manage their employees, and then you look at the end of the day, what the results are that they are getting. And then you realize that management, sometimes the managers miss the point, because it's almost like, I am the boss, this is the goal, you have to, unlike really, even managers do need to inspire, because you need to evoke respect. When your employees respect you, the way they would work with you is different, because yes, you manage, you have a task, you guys have goals, you have budget, you have all these things. You're running a company. Even a not-for-profit company needs to be profitable in a way, because you have a reason why you're there. But we need to take a step back when we manage people and treat people the way you want to be treated. You get the best of your employees when you give them your best, when you respect, respect is earned. So most often people are just, oh, I'm the boss, and talk down on people who work with them and do all this type of stuff. So as managers, you also do need to be able to inspire. You need to be able to respect. It doesn't matter whether it's the person that works in the top office or the person that serves the food in the kitchen or clean the bathroom. You would only get the best out of any and everybody you manage if you treat them with respect. So it was important that I put that out there, because sometimes I see management and I'm like, oh, slow down.
Thank you, Agatha. I mean,
I like that, and I believe if I can add something to what Agatha said, is humility as well. I think along with the respect as well, when you're a humble person, and I think it makes you the team as well, and it will make you a great manager. Because a lot, like she's saying, a lot of people are actually not humble because they're at that level. They look down on people, and it would not make people want to do the job or then respect you. We ought to be humble in our everyday.
Thank you. That comes straight to the next question, Michaela. Can we separate these two things? Are these things that we can separate, or are these two things, must they come together? Must they always be used together, or can they be separated? Managing versus leading.
Agatha or Michaela?
Michaela, any?
Okay. So I would say we ought not to separate them. Every manager is not a leader, but for me, I would say every leader should be a good manager at first, that eventually along the line became a leader. If I talked at work, in the workplace, we have to put ourselves in the skin of manager in what we do every day. That's something that we have to do. Like we said, that particular time where we have to be manager and we have to manage to get the results. But then if you cannot lead without managing, I would say, because a leader inspires the team, a manager has a team. So I think I was a manager first before I became a leader. And I think it's because I was a manager that I was a leader. If I talk in the workplace, if I take the example, as Agatha say, of the community, I would say not necessarily in the community. So I would say, depending on the environment, you can actually dissociate that. In my church, I would say I'm a leader in the church, but I'm not a manager in the church. We're all a community, we're all a family. But in the workplace, I would say I'm a manager and I'm a leader, because at church, I don't need to manage people. Actually, we're all together as a community, and by my action, that by coming to church on time, by volunteering to tidy up the church, by reading at mass, and by just how I behave and how I embody that, then I'm a leader in the community, because people, young people, or every other people look up to you, and then you're leading by example. But at work, like we said, once you've earned the respect as that manager, then you evolve becoming a leader. So at workplace, I would say you put them together, and in the community, it doesn't necessarily have to be together. That's what I would say. I don't know what Agatha thinks.
Agatha, you can just go on. You can tell us what you think.
Okay, I was waiting to see if you would unmute me. I didn't know if I was muted or not.
No, you were not muted, because we've come to that point where I'm going to leave both of you to talk a bit more amongst yourself, and I'll just listen to us from the other side.
As Michaela said, it depends the situation, but most often a leader has to be a manager, most often, because there would always come a time where you as the leader, especially for an organization, you would have to manage some talent. It might be one of your managers who bring somebody up to you like, oh, I'm having such a hard time. I think you can help. You can talk to this person. You need to manage. So a good leader instinctively is an amazing manager. And a manager can eventually become a good leader. That's how most leaders, especially in organizations, they start from being a manager. And then before you know it, they are that manager that everybody gravitates towards because of your humility. You have that spirit that you're always trying to make everyone else shines. So then even your co-workers are coming to you, and you are eventually being elevated to the leader, right? So instances like church, or you are in the community, there are times that you don't have to manage. You need to inspire people to be their best. Mahatma Gandhi inspired all of us to be our very best without managing us. Mother Teresa did the same. Like, you have people who inspire you in a large global scale to do better, to be better. But today, as we're talking about workspace, work environment, that leader has to be able to manage. And I think Harvard Business School, they had a list of what great leaders and managers do to manage their talent. So that's something that people can Google.
I just wanted to talk about that because based on what you and Michaela yourself, based on what you've said, I'm trying to just, figure out in my head. And I think you're the one, Agatha, who said a great leader will make a fantastic manager. And I'm looking at those skills that a manager needs to have. I'm looking at organizational skills. For example, a great manager should be extremely organized. I can call myself a great leader, but I know that I run short of some of those skills that a great manager should have, like being organized. Maybe we want to say it is at this point where you say you need to have a personal assistant to help you manage all these. But before you actually get to a position where you are that leader, do you absolutely need to hone all those skills in order for you to achieve both a top management or a top leadership standard? Or are there some skill set that you absolutely don't need to be worried about, because you might, at a certain point where you have that position, delegate it to others? So I don't know, Michaela, what do you think about this, or Agatha, any of you really?
I think both. I have seen managers who have gone through, whether it's project manager, whether it's through school, and I have seen managers who came from nothing that manages. There are some skills, being organizational, you can learn from school, and it can also be self-taught. But in my core, from having managed both in corporate America and in my own business, what makes a good manager most often is not the skills, all the skill sets that you have. It's somebody who has the capacity to manage others, and that you cannot just learn in school. You need to be able to have that humility in you, and then to have that spirit of how to treat others so you can get the best out of them. That's very important. So you can, it's the reason why, you would hire an MBA, they come 6 months later, you're like, you know what? This person doesn't have people skills. They have all the books, but the people skills is not there because they can't coexist with anyone else. So even when I am hiring, I'm sorry, that's my son. He's going up to the study. We are homeschooling.
We are all working from home, so that's fine. My daughter was creeping on the floor 2 weeks ago, so that's all right.
So a good manager, after learning all the skills that you need, really need to have people skills. The good manager is that person who understands that they don't have to have all the answers. They need to just be able to get people with the right answers to provide them, and then be ready to celebrate each and everyone when they are doing this work. That's a good manager. Do this to help people do their job and do it well. And then even, I would say, a good manager needs to be able to inspire their employees, whoever that they are managing, because that's the difference between, well, I'm just going to work for 8 hours because I'm here for my paycheck. As Michaela said, that there are people who will do that. And somebody who is like, I'm not just here for my paycheck. I'm here to see this project succeed. So that manager, if I am looking, which I have hired plenty, when I am looking for a manager, what I'm trying to, yeah, of course, yes, there is the criteria. I've looked at all the, well, this one went to business school, this one has done this project management course, this is done all these things. I want that I put aside and then listen for the people skills, because that's what makes a successful manager. I want somebody who comes and is able to work with all the other employees, is able to make them want to come to work every day and not see the place of work like a place of stress. We spend so much time of our life at work, and today we know that nothing affects our health so much as stress, because it causes inflammation. And when you're at work so much, work needs to be a place that brings joy to you. So I want my managers to be people that manage with love, manage as a community, manage as a family. I'm not looking for a boss. I'm looking for a manager. And there is a big difference that my employees, my business, we all feel like we are part of a family. We belong, if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And Michaela, would you want to ask yourself, because you meet it yourself?
Yeah. I think Agatha has said it all, and she really put it out very well. So I would say the people skills, what sometimes I'll call values, because the people skills for me is values as well. I think it joins the values, and I love that, because I believe that, like you said, that like in the recruitment, everything is checked and is top notch. But then if you don't have values, good values, that means, again, like we said earlier, respect, humility, then obviously you're not going to be a brilliant manager. And I love the kind of manager that you describe, because I believe that those kind of managers will actually become a leader. Because as we said, managers are here to execute. Managers, for me, are doers. But to make people do, you have to create that nice environment for them to be able to do that without even realizing that they're doing it. And they'll do it beautifully, and you guys will actually meet the objective.
Yeah.
A leader, like we said, he's very strategy, vision, and everything. But that manager needs to have a little bit of that, especially the values and the people skills, respect, humility, and even the passion. Because for me, I like passion. I'm someone that is very passionate, and in everything I do, whether it's work or at home, I do it to my absolute best. Sometimes where I work, they say, "Oh, it's not your father company. You work too much. You put yourself too much into that." But I think the drive and the passion, it's everything for managers and for leaders as well. And that manager needs to have that drive, because that drive will actually drive the team and transmit that vibes, those good vibes to the team. And if you love what you do, if you're passionate about it, then Every day is, even the most stressful day will be a great day. Actually, you'll be able to work at weekends. You will not see an email at midnight and say, oh my God, oh, another email from them. No, you will actually want to reply to that email or solve the issue, even though you can wait in the morning, but you're not going to be annoyed by that. So like we said, is aside from the great organizational skill, aside from the great executional skills, we need to have those people skills, like Agatha said. We need to have those values: humility, respect, passion, and the drive. That's what I will add to great manager.
Thank you, Michaela. I think I mean, the last question has been so explanatory, because from Agatha's perspective and from Michaela's perspective, I feel you've truly explored, the different angles. So at this point, I want to just say hello to those joining us now. I want to say hello, Miriam from Cambe, Romeo from Chan, Etwe Rudy from Boya, Wale Elonger, Estella Muma, Ruth Fowler, Bikondo, hi. Hi, Ruth. Hello, Frank. And Wase has given a contribution which I would like to pop up. So I think I've got 2 contributions to pop up. Wase says, not every manager is a leader, different skill sets, but it's possible to have both skill sets. You have some great leaders who are very bad managers, and vice versa. Sometimes you can have a leader who necessarily isn't a manager. The leader is there to inspire, coach, sometimes mentor, to bring out the best in others. I think this is a point I was trying to bring up with myself. For example, I can tell you for free, I'm a very bad manager. That's why I always need a great manager. But I would tell you for free that I'm a great leader, because I have all these aspects of me that makes me inspire, coach. I know what has to be done, but I'm not just that handsome person when it comes to doing it. It could be administrative, it could be sales, it could be editorial, it could be, so I totally agree with you, Wase, because for real, I can say I'm a 40% good manager and 80% great leader. So Thierry Nobel has also given a contribution. I'll just read what he says. Managers occupy a position. Management is therefore mostly positional. For instance, managing a unit in a company, for that to be successful, the manager must have certain skills. A manager may also be a leader, 2 in 1. In the sense that he is positional but also inspirational. I totally agree with you, and I think that's what the girls have been saying all along. That you could have all, and you can have one, you can have all, but the role that you play at that point is absolutely important for you to outline. If you're playing the role of a manager, I will happily come to work and start doing things, especially when it comes to doing things myself. But I will be happy to tell people how to do it. Today I was just telling my staff that if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I can do it because I started as a one-man show, and now today I have 15 of you, doing this for me. So you all can go and have your donuts in the kitchen. I'll sit here and I'll do it all from start to finish. That's not altogether true, because over the last 10 years things have changed. New skills have come up which I've not gone back there to learn, because these are new skills. And that is why, as Agatha was saying, you bring people into your company or people at work, people that have got the skills that you need at every given time to execute, as Michaela was saying, what has to be executed. So that is absolutely true. So we've got, Manuela Fankam, exactly, the 2 in 1 is always better. That is true. And just like Agatha said a few minutes ago, it's not one size fits all the time. But if you have 2 in 1, it's absolutely the best. Hi, Sophie. Sophie Gassa is checking in from Douala. So let's go to the next, topic. The next question, which is more on the challenges. Let me start with Michaela this time around. Michaela, we know to lead and to manage, at work, it's a whole lot of challenges. What are some of the challenges you face, and how have you been able to overcome some of these challenges?
Okay. I think at work, the challenge you face as a manager every day is, first of all, to earn the respect of your team. So from the moment you become a manager or you're nominated a manager, you have to earn the respect of the team. If you don't have that respect from the team, you're not going to be able to work together to do the task or execute everything that you're supposed to execute. Because as we said, a manager is into the execution. The challenge will be that you have to prove to them or show them that you're worth it, you're worth being their manager. And once you've crossed that challenge, then you'll be able to work great with the team. We talked earlier about organization, which is very, very important. How to organize your team, how to bring the team together as a good team, because you're going to have so many different kind of people in the team, and sometimes it can become a challenge. You have people that actually want it to happen. You have people that are just here for the paycheck. They just want to do the work and go home. You have people that can pollute the atmosphere of the team. And these are the little challenges that you have to make. And sometimes you can overcome them, that maybe meeting with the team, I'm going to say something, maybe meeting with the team on a Friday, make sure that you know them, you maybe know their family, or you know their liking, or even just by being considerate with them. And I've seen that has actually had an effect. Just by hello, how are you? How was your weekend? Or how are you? How's the week going? Or how is your day going? Even just those little attention. And you've seen the change, because they will feel, oh, actually, Michaela actually cares about me, and she just doesn't care about the company. Or they will say, oh, actually, Michaela is actually genuine, and she's not just there to be bossy, like we say. Because as much as sometimes you can be a good manager or would like to be a good manager, you will have those people in the team that are resistant, or that just want to get into conflict with you, especially at the beginning when you're having a new team. And these are the little challenges that I would share that have come along my way to execute the task that needed to be executed. I needed to be in sync with the team, and to be in sync with the team, I needed to have created a good environment. Need to be created, and if there's a good environment with respect, with people that see that you care for them, that they're being cared for, then you will overcome those challenges that will come along the way, and they'll be able to execute those tasks. So this is one or two challenges that I would say can come as a manager. But if you're humble, if you're able to earn respect, I think that will help you to overcome those challenges with the team, even with the one that will be mostly resistant. And even with the one that are mostly resistant, that's something that I've learned along the way during different training. There's always a way, even the way to talk to the person. Sometimes as manager, you can be very frontal. The work you submitted to me is rubbish. You have some managers that actually say that. And of course, if you come frontal, the employee will reply frontal way. But if you say, okay, the work that you did was not bad, I do appreciate that work, but I believe that it could have been done in a different way. Or would you like to say another way of doing this? And just by that little thing, you will see a change, because the person will say, okay, she appreciates that the work has been done. My manager appreciates the work has been done. However, there's some ways for improvement. And then together you can have a session to see how to improve that. So with the most resistant one, that's how I believe a manager can tackle them. And like we said, some people come in the morning at work that are immediately frustrated and annoyed because maybe they've had issue at home, or they're not happy even in the workplace. But by paying attention to them, you will see how the behavior will change, or they will tackle the day or the task in a different way. So that's a bit how you can tackle that. One of the challenges that I would say, if I take myself personally, another challenge that I face is that when I came, even in the UK, I was a very young pharmacy manager, and I was Black. And when you come into the pharmacy, they don't want to talk to you because you're not English, you're not British, or the team feels like, oh, this young girl, she's 22, she's coming, she's a pharmacy manager. And I really had to tackle that. I had to show them that, number one, I can do the job. Like I think Agatha or Adeline said earlier, I'm not just a manager. I was showing them how it has to be done. I had the knowledge. So I think the knowledge will help you as well with your credibility for them to believe that you can actually manage them. And the second thing, like we say, is the atmosphere that will create. So I was humble. I showed them that we are in this together. I need you, you need me. And we all have a common goal to reach. And once they understood that, they were not threatened, they were no more in opposition with me, and it all came up to a beautiful team. We used to share cupcakes, and we had a nice and a fun team. And then I came back home. I came home, I was 25, and I was young, and I was in the team with people that are 35, 40, 45. They felt that I came to take their place, or someone just took me from abroad and put me in the company. And I had to tackle that. And I had to show them as well, again, that I was chosen because I'm skills. But separately from being skills, we're really together. And that's what, for me, with the team, is something that they need to understand. Until they see that you can stay late like them to do the job. You can go to the remote areas, because sometimes we have to go to Bafoussam, we have to go to Korogo, we have to go to deep remote area. They see that, okay, I'll come, I'll put my trainers, I'll put the t-shirt and the polo, and we go and do those awareness campaigns together. Then they see that we're together. They won't just see, oh, Michaela is coming, she's the boss, she's staying in the car, she's not coming to remote area with us. Then once they saw that as well, it broke many barriers, and we're able to work beautifully together as equal, even though we're not really equal, but we're able to execute and do that job nicely and attain the goals. And they were able to have their bonus. So everyone is winning. It's a win-win situation, really.
Somehow, but
Are you frozen?
are you
frozen? Am I frozen?
Can you hear me?
No, not Michaela.
No, not
Adeline.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now we
Yes.
could hear you. I think Agatha, maybe there's some connection issues with her.
From my
Okay,
side.
I can see her now.
Okay.
So I think for me,
Okay.
for me, I would say the biggest challenge for us in the food space is to get operations, sales, marketing, R&D, everybody to be on the same page. Because most often the salesperson will go, say for example, they go to Walmart and sell the idea that, oh, we can get mac and cheese to you in 1 year, and comes back, and operations is, oh no, it's going to take us 2 years to get that ready. So having everybody to be on the same page, how we sell ideas, how we market, it's key. So most often it might be in the middle of the year, we would do a management team building exercise that we bring everybody together and put our goals and have everyone from the different teams buy into it. That's the biggest challenge. But when we are able to overcome that, life is good for everybody, because then sales can go and sell what they want, because they know that whatever deadline that they are given is already something that's been agreed upon, that operations can meet. Are you still there, Adeline? I don't see anybody.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm still here, and I can hear you. I listen to you.
Okay, good. So I think that that's one of the challenges. I mean, there are plenty, but having everybody on the same page most often is key. And then yes, you have the other things about morals, trying to build everyone up.
now. Okay. Better? Can you? Okay, she's back now. So I'll join you on the solo now. I can do now. I had issues with my connection, but I've swapped, so we're fine. So Agatha, can you tell us some of your challenges and how you've been able to deal with these?
So I think the biggest challenge for me, using my own company and experience, would be to get the various team on the same page. So sales, operation, marketing, R&D, having everybody on the same page to buy the idea, it's key, because sometimes you have people who make commitments that the company as a whole cannot keep. So that's one challenge. That's an everyday challenge. So we have quarterly meetings that we bring everyone together and make sure that before we leave, whether it's 2-3 day meeting that we have, and it's an employee morale building type stuff, because then you have all the management team together. But before we leave, we all agree upon our goals for the next quarter. Like, okay, this product, these are the things we can say, and this is how long it can take. You can't just go and sell ideas and come back that we can't handle. So that's important. That's one challenge. That's an every month challenge, depending on who is going somewhere and talking. But just making sure that everyone gets along, so the morale of the company is good. It's a challenge, because now and then you would have somebody who doesn't get along with someone and then start little drama. So managing those things is something that we do. Sometimes you might have to let an employee go, but most often is looking for ways, encouraging and building and mending fences, so everybody can be happy at the end of the day.
I don't know if Adeline is back or she's still here.
I don't see her either, Michaela. I don't see her.
Yes. But I like what you said as a unit, because it's true. If everyone understands that everyone owns it, because like you said, if the marketing is just working on their side, or the supply, if everyone is just doing their own thing, it might not really work. But they really need to be in sync. I second that as a whole, so that they're all together, really transversal.
And it's a big deal. It's a big deal for say, for example, we are a food company, and sales people can get overly excited because they go and sell to make money. These are, and we have a wonderful sales team. But sales and operations are always at loggerheads, because a salesperson would sell an idea, and sometimes you sell that idea and they buy it on the spot. But operations has nothing. And so when sales is coming back, it's like, oh, I just said, can we come up with a mac and cheese in 6 months? And operations is like, no, that will take us 2 years. So that's why it's important that you really try to get everybody. When you guys come up with whatever, you have your project, you have your goals, you need to get everybody to buy into it. That spells success. And I've experienced it both ways. I've seen when we get excited and when everybody's not on the same page, we make big mistakes. But when everybody is on the same page, even when we make mistakes, the mistakes are not so much, and there is not so much blaming, because then we can all take ownership where we did, and it didn't work. Or like, oh, well, you did that, you fixed that. It creates an atmosphere it's not very good. Adeline, it looks like you're there, but you're frozen. Okay, so I think we are going to try, it looks like Adeline is frozen, so we are going to try and recap some of the things that we cover, and I would try and off my head, and Michaela would add on. I think we cover managing and leadership, the differences between being a manager and being a leader, and we also did talk about what the differences are, and what are some of the experiences that we have, both personal experiences in our businesses or in our management and leadership. And Michaela, I would let you add.
Yes, and in that regard, I think for us, it was pretty clear that a manager is really task orientated. A manager is very execution. But aside from that, we also said that the manager still needs to inspire the team to do what they need to do, because if they inspire them, or if he has those core values of respect and humility, if he has the people skills, then the team will be able to execute those tasks and they'll meet their goal. And we said the leader is more vision. He inspires, he empowered, he's directional, he shows the way, and he leads by his actions. And I think we said as well, we had the, yeah?
No, I was also I was also going to say that we said both leaders and managers need to have humility. They need to lead with love, so that they have a workspace that everybody feels like they belong.
Indeed. And furthermore, there was this interesting question, whereas is a manager automatically a leader? Is a leader a manager? And I think we both agreed that it will depend on the environment, but at work, a leader should be a good manager. And that's even how some manager became leader, because they were good and great manager. They became leader, and they took on the vision, and they were more directional. But in the community, like we said, is not necessarily, you can be a leader and not necessarily manage people. And I love the example that you took of Mother Teresa, which is someone that I admire and which inspired me. She was a great leader. She was remembered, she was known by her action, but she didn't manage me, she didn't manage you. But every day we look up to her. We have other great leaders that we all look up to, which are like our model or role model, but they don't manage us. So you can also be a leader in the community or in your everyday without necessarily managing people. But in the workforce, a good manager eventually can become a leader. And I love that someone said as well that you have leaders that are bad managers. And Adeline said as well, yes, for example, she knows that maybe she's 40% a manager, but she does know that she's 40% a leader. I don't know if there's something else. I get that.
Yeah, no, I see Adeline is back.
I am back. I'm so sorry. The internet just went on me. But I was listening to you, Gareth, and I think you've managed it perfectly without me. And that is what we're talking about, leadership, being able to take control. And that is one word we didn't use. A leader is happy, to take control in situations like this, where my internet decided to slap on me, And as I said, when I started, this is the first time I'm hosting the sessions in Cameroon. The last 6 months I've been doing it in England, and I just came back to Cameroon. So this is the first time. I think I haven't had the chance to figure out how the internet behaves, but I will. Michaela, you're going to teach me, so that next time I'm not falling into such issues. So
let me show you. I have two phones.
Oh!
And I have the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Disconnect. I get the other phone, and then I have the Wi-Fi. Just to be ready.
I just have the Wi-Fi, Camtel, and it just so I was struggling to use my
Yes, Camtel
NTL,
has
you know.
been quite steady. The Wi-Fi on Camtel. So that's why I end up connecting MTN and Orange just in case
Just
Camtel
in
goes
case.
funny
Thank you.
on you.
Thank you. Next
Yes.
time I'm going to make sure I have all three of them as well. Thank you. So I feel the recap was a true reflection of our conversation today. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that we've missed, but I feel we've covered quite a lot. And
I think we did.
Yeah, we did good.
I would like to add for anybody who watches this later, whether they're aspiring to be a leader, whether they are a leader, whether they are management today. I say whatever you do, just remember to treat people the way you want to be treated. There is nothing blooms with thunder. So we have to, the way we talk to people, the way we treat others really do matter. And it doesn't take away from you being the boss when you're not screaming and you're not making people feel less. As Michaela said, I think she gave an example, if somebody brings in work that it's not correct, instead to go, oh, this work is rubbish, you can acknowledge the fact that effort was done to do the work and say, oh, I see you did the job. Can we do it this other way? Something. Let's try and be kind. Respect is not forced, it's earned. So when you treat people with respect, they respect you, because I think that was something that we talked about as a challenge as well. When you have a team, how do you earn their respect so people can start trusting you and following your leadership? Because again, even as a manager, so let's start from a simple place of treating people with respect. It doesn't matter whether you're the boss, whether you're the company owner, and the person that's standing in front of you is that person that cleans the bathroom. Kindness, respect every day.
Thank you very much. We have a question from Eric, which we just have to take because we still have 3 minutes left. I know Agatha has done her, her recap and her take-home message. Before we come to Michaela for her take-home message, does any of you want to answer this question? Eric, how do you deal with an employee who is kind of indispensable but insubordinate or embezzling?
I would say there is no employee who is indispensable. If you are insubordinate, you're dispensable. But again, you need to be able to coach. Work with the employee and see if there's something that can get better. But the energy that somebody who is subordinate brings to your organization is not worth keeping change. Because then it's like gas. It seeps into everybody else. And if you start taking this on, it makes other employees feel this way of acting is okay. And before you know it, this becomes your culture at your place of work and you don't want it. I would say I want to put my manager hat. As a manager, I would not even let any of my employees, and also as an owner, think that they are indispensable for work. I want them to feel loved. I want them to feel as part of the family, because it is a family. It's going to take all of us to make this succeed. But the one thing that I would communicate from day one, every time we have a new employee, we go through what our company values are. That is such a big thing for me. And if you can't, it doesn't matter how indispensable you are. If you are not living up to what our values are, then we can keep you. And if you cannot change, because we will try to work with you to change. If you can't change, then you're not good, you're not a good fit.
It has to be a good fit for your organization. And Eric, I think Agatha is absolutely right. You want to set an organizational culture that you're proud of, and you don't want the rest of the team to feel that as management or part of the management team, you feel someone is indispensable. It shouldn't be that way. You should treat everybody equally at work and let everybody know that, we value the contribution that you put in here. But if this is the right time for you to leave and you feel you want to leave, then it's okay for you to leave. That way, people don't feel they're indispensable and that without them, your business is going to fall. Now, from the work perspective, Michaela, is there something you want to contribute to this from the corporate setting? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. What did you just say? From the work perspective?
I was asking, from your perspective, do you want to contribute? I know Agatha has said, covered it really smoothly, but is there something you might want to add to Eric, who's asking this question?
I think for me, what Agatha said, and back to the question of Eric, no one is indispensable. Even I myself, I know that I'm not indispensable. I can be in this position today, and tomorrow I can be replaced. I can be alive tomorrow. I can be in heaven. So I think each of us, we need to understand that being alive is a grace. Having a job is a grace. And if we have that culture in our team or in our companies, that everyone knows that we're all here to work, we're all here to achieve a goal, we're all here as a family, like Agatha said, we all need each other, we're in this together, then no one should feel indispensable. And like we said earlier, when we have a challenge, we will try to go towards that particular person and see what can be done, how it can be arranged. Is there a training that the person can do? Is there a specific talk that the person can do? Can the person be joined with another employee to help them? Or does the person has another problem? Because sometimes we can have external problem that we bring to work and we become insubordinate, or we're just annoyed or frustrated. So I think we can deep further before taking that decision. Try to help out the person, try to understand why he believes that. But everyone needs to know that no one is indispensable at home, at work, in life. And then that's how I think we should approach things. And really, it all comes down to what we were saying earlier, Agatha, and along the talk. It's all a core family that we're creating, even if we're at work. It's one unit that we're creating, needing each other and really working together for the same goal or to reach the same vision. And if it's still not coming along with that vision or coming along with where we want to go, then unfortunately, after trying all of that, we'll have no other choice than maybe parting with the person. But then maybe the person can go somewhere else and then change, take what he has learned in the company and be better. Sometimes we've seen people that were actually sacked from where they were working and they go on and become greater person elsewhere. So that's why we say you can't say, I'm just like that in life. Because I think everyone can change, everyone can adapt according to the environment, according to the people that you meet along the way, according to how you reevaluate yourself, how you evolve. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michaela. Very useful. Now, what is your take-home message to those still watching us? What is your take-home message to them?
Agatha has said it all, but there's this quote I really love, and I really want to tell everyone. Have a purpose. Have a purpose in life. Be passionate. be determined, and do everything to your absolutely best. And another thing I would say to those aspiring to be leaders is I love this quote from Quincy that says, once you inspire people to do more, to want more, to be more, then automatically you become a leader. And I think it's really how we should actually even live, whether it's at work, whether it's in our community. We really need to want to inspire people, to empower people, to give back, like I said, and to push each other to want more, to do more, and then you'll be a great leader. And if you're just a manager or you aspire to be a manager, like we said, give your best, be a good manager by example, by doing the work, because a manager should be a doer, by setting the right example, by being organized, by being able to manage the team well. And to manage the team well, it all came down to our values, have values. So there's excellence, there's knowledge, there's values, there's people skills as well. So that's for me as a leader, what we ought to be as a leader, for those aspiring to be leader, to inspire, to empower, to push people to want to do more, always want more. And as a manager, to push people to be great in their everyday task and to reach their goal in an excellent manner while being together as a core, as a unit, as a family.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Michaela. I think, ladies, today has been a great session. One of the reasons why I truly connect, with this session for today is because so many people have dual personality when it comes to managing and leading people. So many people are confused when it comes to both. And this session, I can assure you, has cleared a lot of doubts. We've got some positive contributions from our audience as well. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We know how difficult it could be on a Thursday afternoon for you to dedicate 1.5 hours of your time, to sit in a session like this. And I am very positive that more people are going to watch this video, even post our live session, because they always do. They always come and they always leave us messages to let us know what they think about the topic. And we have truly trashed this topic. We've truly brought this topic on its knees because the points that you brought in were so valuable. And I'm happy because I personally am taking home some of them with me. And it is going to help me, and I'm sure a lot more, to reevaluate, the way they manage people and the way they lead. And those people who are already in management positions and are looking forward to taking the leadership position, this session, I'm sure, has been a stepping stone for you to know what you have to do, how you have to do it, and above all, Michaela, you've mentioned values a lot of times. We cannot hone this enough. We need to keep saying values are important and we need to put this first. Because if you don't have that, then it's going to be so difficult for you to bring them all together as one, because you might be going left and the other people are going right. This is purely because you don't share the same value. And when you come to that T-junction and you say, oh, I thought that was pink and I thought that was blue, then you're going to ask yourself the question, where is the connection? Where's the contact point? How come we've been, it's just like a marriage, relationship, isn't it? You date someone for such a long period of time and at the end of the day, I've tried to change him, but he wouldn't change. Or I've tried to change her. So I think it's just the same. You need to make sure the values are communicated clearly at the beginning of any relationship, be it at work, marriage, the little things, friendship, because if these two things do not connect, then it's going to be truly a failure. So I want to thank you, ladies, for dedicating your time. I want to thank you for coming. And I want to ask you a question. Sometimes we have speakers who come on board and our audience are interested in approaching them for mentorship opportunities. We do have the mentor-mentee programs that we run. And someone might watch this video now or later and would love to reach out to you. Will you be happy for us to do this connection? So I think if you unmute yourself, then you can answer. Just let me know if I can keep your detail and pair you with someone I feel is best fit for you guys, for you girls.
I guess.
So it's a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adeline, you have my information.
Adeline, you have my information.
So you're happy to mentor a young woman looking at growing in the corporate, in the corporate environment, in the business environment. You'll be happy to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When one grow, we all grow. Yeah.
Thank
when
you.
one
Thank
grow,
so
we
much.
all
What
grow.
about you, Michaela?
I'll be humble and honest to be able to help someone
Thank
progress
you.
in their life, in their purpose.
Thank you. Thank you so much, lady.
And it was so lovely to meet you, Agatha. I've learned as well a lot.
It was so lovely. You're such a delight.
I'm going to share
And
an
hopefully
email.
Adeline can
I'm
connect
going to share an email with you
to
both so that you
both
can
of us. I'm
connect.
so proud of you listening to you talk. Just makes me feel like an auntie. Like, oh, yes, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, I really appreciate it. It was a lovely afternoon, lovely exchange, and a lovely rencontre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, then,
Thank you,
guys.
Adeline.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for what you
All
do
right.
for others, organizing all the practice.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Just we got some thank you from Sophie. We got thank you from Thierry. Thank you, ladies, for this inspiring and insightful. We got one last comment from Benny. Ladies, great topic and session. So many points I concur with and lots of valuable information to take away. Thank you for your time and for sharing. Thank you so much, Benny. Okay, I'm gonna love you guys and I'm gonna kick you off just so I say bye to those who are still online. Is that all right?
All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Bye now.
All right then. Oh my God. Thank you so much for hanging on and for listening. I know I had some internet issue, but we'll be able to deal with that. Subsequently, it has been a wonderful, amazing, inspiring session. The topic for today was leadership, managing and leading people, managing and leading others. If you know me, you know this is a space I love. This is a space I occupy. This is a space I truly feel we need to talk about it often. There can never be so many sessions on managing and leadership. We've been doing this for 6 months now, and we have the rest of the year. We just keep doing what we do. And if you think there is a topic that you want us to discuss, please do leave it in the topic box, and we'll be able to pick it up and just bring speakers. If you feel you have leadership skills and you'd like to come on the show, please do send us a message or send us an email, and we'll be able to bring you on board. My name is Adeline Sedekamga. For those of you who know me, I am the founder and CEO of Fabafric Media Group. I'm also the founder of Corporate Women in Leadership, a leadership initiative that has been going on for 5 years now. What we normally do is we normally host mentor-mentee programs for young aspiring female leaders. We have a mentor-mentee program that we do every year. It's a 6-month program. If you feel you have what it takes to mentor others, or if you think you do need to be mentored, please do get in touch and we'll be happy to pair you with someone suitable for you. We have hosted, oh, sorry, Lothar, don't worry. We have other sessions coming up. So we're gonna make sure you have, an invitation. So as I was saying, if you have a topic that you want to discuss on this platform, please do feel free to recommend. We are open for recommendations. We are open for suggestions, and we've been a Corporate Women Leadership session. Thank you, Ashu, Success Ashu Constance, who is an amazing program manager, and she successfully put this together. Thank you, Team Fabafric. Thank you all of you who've been watching. See you again in 2 weeks. We have these sessions every 2 weeks from 4:30 to 5:30. So there you go. We're going to love you, we're going to leave you, and we're going to say it's been the Corporate Women in Leadership. Thank you, Lothar. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you. Bye now.